Yeah, thank you, Chair. I guess is a more practical question. What kind of budget have we got to get this out to, I suppose it's to you, Ian, and how many copies are we going to produce? What's our budget to get it out to the community? So 2 questions, really.
Budget off the top of my head, I don't recall, I'm sorry, but what we're doing is we have a distribution list that we're pulling together, and we'll distribute hard copies to key partners, stakeholders, agencies, people who we know will have an interest in this. It'll be made available digitally as a PDF, downloadable PDF off the website. I guess our preference is to go digital by default where possible rather than printing lots of copies, so we'll provide it electronically freely to people and certainly produce sufficient hard copy for those people who we know will have an immediate interest and some in reserve for those who might come and ask for it. And it's a sort of document that we can run another print run if the interest is high enough. So we'll sort of start small and build it as the interest grows.
Supplementary to that, is your distribution list, does it include every library in the region, every council in the region?
Yes, yeah.
And does it go to every school in the region?
Schools, maybe not, but certainly a good point. So we're reviewing the distribution list literally at the moment. And those are the sorts of places we'd be looking to send at: schools, universities, libraries,
council offices,
councillors. We'll send your property.
I'd like to move that we accept this report, because we spend all day if we talk about the issues, because we're all so interested in it.
Well, can I add a proviso to that? Feel free, if you do have further questions, to interact directly with.
I move that we accept.
Mr. Chairman, I really would like to ask some questions around their MCI measurements.
Okay. Quickly, then.
There's some really interesting
Microphone.
Page
53.
Thank you. The graph on page 54, which looks at the MCI and the dissolved oxygen and the temperature range, and there's a clear correlation between that and the health of the MCI, and MCI is a measure of health of river. But I don't see nitrates in there. Are you actually finding that this is giving you a clearer indication of the indicators for MCI health?
Yep, I'd like to hand over to Sandy on that one.
What you can see on page 53, I think it was. So that was a targeted study that was conducted especially in the Karamu-Clive. So this is a different stream type than the rest, 60 or more than 60% of the rest of Hawke's Bay, which is the lowland soft sediment macrophyte dominated stream types. And this study showed that actually temperature and oxygen are the main drivers for the low MCIs. This does not hold true for the rest of the hard sediment different stream types that we have, like the Narurua to Taikuri. The nitrate was in that study as well, nitrate concentrations, and they were not as strong as lack of oxygen and high temperatures.
Thank you. Right. Moved, seconded, was that correct? Wish to speak?
Thanks, Chair. Firstly, I want to just thank everyone involved. This is a stunning report, and when I got it, I found my whole family was just immersed in it. I know what you're saying. It's a summary from the science, the huge science that's behind it. We're all aware of that, but it's a really good summary, and it's really written well that people like myself who are not immersed in this can understand, and people like my family. And I would like to just say that I would like to see this as wide as possible. This is something that every classroom in Hawke's Bay should have, because right down to the primary schools where they would go through and the teachers would pluck out the interesting stuff. This is hugely important document from our organisation, shows the depth, shows the real work that we're involved in, which is often forgotten, and shows the huge skills which we have with our people here. So I greatly support this. Can't say how much I support it, and I want to see it as widely out as possible. So, you know, if we haven't got a budget, let's somewhere find one. Mr. 80's really good at that. And before I go, one final comment with the pollution in the Ahuriri. You will note that there are only 2 swimmers here, and I've never swum in that event. Okay.
And, Councillor Hewitt.
Look, other than the last little bit, I'd just like to really endorse Councillor Graham's comments. Thank you to all of you. I haven't actually met all of you yet, so yeah, intros would have been helpful, but I'll make sure I do that over morning tea. Thanks, guys. As a non-scientist, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I've got tags all the way through with interesting reference points, and I'll certainly be doing my bit to spread this through the community with a column that I have as well. It was incredibly interesting, so I'd just like to sincerely congratulate the staff. Thank you.
Pipe, then Councillor Belford.
When I came onto the council here, I found that it was really quite difficult, the amount of scientific information that we're actually given, and to try and read and understand. And I think that was one of the things that when Stephen came on board, I actually said to him, I said, can we get something that is plain language? Can we make it in very, very simple language so that I can understand it and the general public can understand it? And you've come up with a very, very good document. So congratulations to you and all the team with it, because it puts all the things that we do here in the regional council in perspective. And I showed it to my son, who's a teacher, and he just thought it was great. And there is the ability to use this, I think, in schools, and I agree with my colleagues here. It should be. Whether it is or not, and whether they get it into their curriculum, or whether they can use it as part of their curriculum, is another thing. But I think it's very much, you know, their curriculum most probably is more on a national scale. This actually focuses in to what's happening in the kids' backyards, and I think that's really important. So well done to you guys.
Thank you. Councillor Belford.
Yes, I'm delighted to see this report, and I congratulate the effort behind it. I only received it midday Monday, so I'm not entirely familiar with it. I'm sure I'll have lots of questions going forward. The one suggestion I would make in presenting this or carrying it forward is that maybe there should be a sort of a short form. This is 150 pages of serious reading for people who are seriously interested, I think, in the state of the environment in Hawke's Bay. There'll be a lot of other people who are a bit more casual in their interest in it, but we should take advantage of having done it. I think your slide that's up there now, that you could have put a slide up presumably saying positive or improving as well, and that something that digested that in a summary form. Because I got it late, I immediately went to look for the executive summary sort of thing, and there wasn't one. So you had to sort of like dive right in, and there are scattered through it, from what I've seen already, there are lots of there are hot spot issues. There are lots of things that are flagged as we need to watch this closely or do more of this or what have you. But I think all that sort of thing could be extracted out into some other format or a brochure or something that really did highlight to the more casual reader, here are the key trends, here are the key things that we're worrying about, here are the key things that we've made some progress on, just to simplify it a bit. Otherwise, well done.
Councillor Scott.
Comment, because I have read a number of State of the Environment reports, and I think this actually is a really great format. It's very informative. It refers easily to be able to go to the technical reports if you want to delve further. But I do think the layout is excellent, but I'm also pleased to see some of the positive messages that are actually coming out of it from what we're doing as a regional council. It is, as the state of environment goes, I think on the whole very encouraging, and I think it's something that the depth, the breadth of the work that we do is obviously paying off, and I really congratulate you on that particular photo that's up behind you, which is showing what can be done with a non-regulatory approach and cooperation with people involved. That is a fantastic outcome.
Just to sum up.
No, not except to say well done.
Very good. I'll put that motion in. All those in favour, please say aye. Contrary, no. Carried. It is now available for everyone. Good. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Let's break for morning tea. Be back here by 10:02 or shortly thereafter, please. And we will deal with the HBRC discussion, assuming Dr. Pearce is actually here. I haven't seen him, but